Hey, and welcome to this episode, which is all about book covers. So what we're going to do is we are going to have a look at how we create a cover design specification. Now, it's really important that when you decide that you want to create your book, you want to make sure that you have a cover that you feel really proud of. Now, one of the things that I think is a really big no-no is designing your own cover. So let's take a look at how we create the best cover that we possibly can. Now, if you're interested in, having a look at lots and lots of different covers, this is a great website to go to. This is called bookcoverarchive.com, and there's all kinds of book covers. So, at this point, I don't think it really matters whether you're writing a fiction or a non-fiction book. What you're looking for is elements, covers that you like that are going to inspire you. So that's the first place that I suggest that you go. Now, the second place is go onto Amazon and pick one of your favourite authors. Now, I've picked this particular author, and what you'll notice, now you might notice something different to me, but what I notice is she uses pictures of herself on most of her covers. So what you can see is that, she's a popular person. So for her, using a picture of herself is part of her brand, whereas that might not be relevant for somebody else. Every author is different. Now, the two things that I want to pick out as well, the other thing I want to pick out is if you look at the book Judgment Detox, and then on the far right you've got the journal that goes with it, the colours match. There's no picture, but we've got brand congruity because the colours do actually match. So go and find some, authors that you like, take some screen snaps of their book covers, and just pick out, what is it that stands out? What would make you buy that book? So make a list of your likes and dislikes, strong images, great words, eye-catching fonts, bright colours. What is it? Or muted colours. And what do you really dislike? Now, one of the things I really dislike is homemade covers. There's something about, you can tell when someone has made their own cover. And then the image doesn't convey what the book is about, and that the fonts don't match. There is an art in choosing the right fonts and making sure fonts go together. So write a concept brief, decide on the message you want to send. The more information that you can give to your designer, the better quality book cover they're going to come out with. Tell them who your target reader is. What is it that you want to convey? What is that feeling you want your reader to get? And also, as part of that cover design spec, show your designer the things you hate. They can't see inside your head. So when I came to design my latest book cover, I looked at lots and lots of covers, and I collected lots of images, and I whittled it down to this one. So I gave them lots and lots of ideas. I chose an image. Again, I looked at lots and lots of different kinds of images. Now, my book is about osteoporosis, and it's about natural healing. So I wanted an image that conveyed to me natural healing. So things like flowers and leaves and stuff like that gave me the feeling and the sense of my reader would see that it is about the body. And the yoga pose, again, that's about mindfulness and kind of being at one with yourself. Now, in terms of my image, I chose an image and asked the designer to do an initial book cover design for marketing purposes. I'm actually going to get this image redone with some different kinds of things in it. So what I did was I chose the image. I was very specific. I gave him the book cover that I liked, and then I went on to Canva and I created something similar. And that's what he received. So now let's talk about images. So I chose this image off a site called Deposit Photos. Now, one of the things, if you decide that you want to have a picture of you on the cover, then you just go and pay a photographer to take photographs. You pay them for their time and you own the copyright. If you go and swipe something off the internet, chances are that, obviously you haven't bought it, but chances are someone's going to come and find you and want to sue you for copyright infringement. The other thing to do is, I chose this off Deposit Photos, and this is the usage information that I've got. It is a royalty-free license, and I can use it for personal and commercial purposes under the conditions of the royalty-free license. So in this particular instance, I have downloaded it and used it for my initial marketing purposes. I am writing a brief now for my illustrator that's kind of based on this, but I've got lots of other bits and pieces. It'll look completely different, but it will be based on this, but I'll own the copyright, and for me that is really, really important. So write the brief. You could launch a cover design contest in places like 99 Designs. There are lots and lots of different places that you can go and do this cover design contest. When you get the ideas back, ask people to vote, whittle it down, check your contract, and obviously pay when you're happy. It's not the cheapest, it could be time consuming, but they do a very, very good job. Now, the other thing that you could do, often it comes, time versus money, and it really depends on how good your cover design spec is. So you could go to some different freelancer sites, use Fiverr, or you may have a favourite designer. I actually went and used Fiverr. So I've been helping people to design covers for a very, very long time. So when it comes to a cover design spec, I'm very particular, and I always create mock-ups of things that I want. So on Fiverr, the guy came back with 2 designs, and you can see straight away this is different to what I originally designed. So he did a design based on mine, and he gave me this as the other option. And then I went on to Facebook and asked loads of people what did they think, and I actually slept on it for a couple of days, and I decided to take the words out. Now when I come back to do the proper cover, I may put some words back in down one of the sides. I don't know yet, but in terms of this is a process. So this is the beginning of my process. I want to test the market, I want to see what the reaction is, and I've had some really, really good feedback. People are very, very honest. So like I said, stick it on Facebook or whatever social media platform you use and ask people to vote. And remember, this is about the image that you're trying to portray. Now you can see that these two book cover designs are pretty similar, and the one that we did eventually go for was the one that had the pink down the spine. But in terms of, and actually for this particular cover we used 99 Designs, and some of the designs that came back were hilarious. Some of them looked like covers of porn books, to be perfectly honest. They were horrible. And the designer that did this absolutely captured the essence of this organisation. This was a collaborative book. They did an amazing job. So your actions are: prepare your brief well in advance of completing your book. Give yourself 3 to 4 weeks of really, collecting things and thinking about it. Do not rush in, and stay in touch with your designer. They want to give you the best possible book design that they can. And, ask people what they think. You don't have to do what other people say, but getting feedback is part of this entire process. So that's it. go and do the cover design spec, have a look at book covers, likes, dislikes, think about fonts, image, ideal reader, what it's going to look like when it's shrunk down on a book site like somewhere like Amazon, what it's going to look like in your marketing collateral. Think of all of those things and really do enjoy the process of creating your book cover.